We're live. Hello, it's Bill, the knee pain guru. Welcome to Monday, January 13th, 2020. Today we're going to talk about why do you still have knee pain? We're going to be getting into that in just a moment. If you have questions about your knees, your knee situation, your diagnosis, your doctor, physical therapist, exercise, whatever it is, please put that in the live chat over on the side or the bottom, however it is on your computer and or electronic device. Please contribute because I use those for future videos. So those who participate, those who leave comments watching the replay, I use that as kind of an idea, like a finger on the pulse of where you're at, what you're struggling with your knees, and then topics for future videos. So please do that, and we'll address your questions in just a moment. Like, subscribe, and share this video. It's important. There's a lot of people suffering with knee pain. A lot of people limping around. 9 billion people on the planet. It means 18 billion knees have a good chance that they'll have knee pain at some point in time in their life. So, I'm going to get into the topic today. Why do you still have knee pain? And what I'm going to refer to this is it's the gap. So this is, you're here, and you want to get out of pain. In between where you're at and you getting out of pain is a gap. And you keep filling that gap with lots of information. You go to doctors, you go to physical therapists, you take supplements, you take prescription drugs, Advil, Tylenol, Nuprin, you get shots, you get surgery, you do exercise, you have all this stuff that you're trying to fill this gap in between where you're at and where you want to be, which is out of pain. So you've gathered a ton of information. You've done a lot of stuff. But here's the piece. For all I know, you're doing the right things. Like you have all of the information. Like a recipe for baking the cake, you have to have the right ingredients in the right amounts, in the right order, with the right timing. And what that does is that correctly fills that gap for where you're at in pain, or in pain, lack of range of motion, you can't extend or bend the leg, your achiness, tightness, you can't squat, whatever the situation is, where you're at and where you want to be, you're trying to fill that gap with all the information, but we don't know what's going on. And that's part of the situation is you may have things in the wrong order. Like you may be exercising, which is putting your knee in pain, which makes the gap bigger. Or you may be doing all the things in the right order, but the timing may be slightly off. You need to wait a little bit longer. You need to rest a little bit more. Or you maybe need to add a supplement into the situation. Once again, it gets back to that cake recipe. The right things in the right amounts, in the right order, with the right timing. Maybe you're doing all the things in the right order with the right timing, but you're sabotaging yourself in the process. I see this a lot of times with people that they're type A personalities. It's like a prerequisite to have knee pain. You have to have a type A personality. So you're very driven. You have the big laundry list. Everybody counts on you. So you're doing lots of stuff all the time, but you just can't take a break because all those people need you. So the moment you get your knee out of pain, bam, you're doing something that puts your knee back into pain. So you're sabotaging yourself in the process. I don't know. Or you may be doing all the right things in the right order with the right timing. You're not sabotaging yourself, but you can't figure out how to fit it into your busy schedule. is different. You have to understand knee pain isn't like this cookie cutter thing. It's like, oh, I could give you a set of exercises and this is going to get you out of pain. Or I'm going to give you this set of reps or stretches and it's going to get you out of pain. Or you take this supplement, it's going to get you out of pain. If you've been suffering with pain, weeks, months, years, some people I've known even decades, you have to understand that this pain is changing how you move, how you think, how you feel, how you respond to situations. And when it's changing things on that many levels, not one little thing is going to make your knee pain go away. Maybe for a little bit. Maybe for a little bit. And then you're back in the same situation. So you try something else. And the pain goes away for a little bit or reduces a little bit. And then you justify it. Oh, it's not so bad. I could handle it. It's been worse. Then you hear all the terms out there. Push through the pain. No pain, no gain. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Just do it. And what ends up happening is you buy into it. So now you're pushing yourself through the pain, and understand you being in pain for as long as you've been, pushing through that pain will never get you out of pain. Those are for people who are healthy. That saying is for people who don't start out in pain. It's really important to understand that. So you look at all these things. Trips to the doctor, physical therapist, exercise, supplements, stretching, breathing, what else? Water, nutrition, exercise, surgery, shots, prescription drugs. You got all these things and you're trying to fill it in the gap. Which one's working? Which two are working? Are all of them working? Are none of them working? We don't know. This is where you're at. You have to understand knee pain is a complex thing. Pain in general is a complex thing. Where are you tripping yourself up? I don't know. And I can't tell until we talk. Because what I do is I take what you're saying and what you've tried and the frustration in your voice, the questions you ask, the questions you don't ask, what you're aware of and what you're not aware of, helps me fill in that gap for you. Helps me understand where you're at, where you're stuck, and what needs to happen to get you unstuck. Does it make sense? We got 14 people on the call here, and we got one person just saying good morning. Makes sense? Thumbs up, give it like, subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends. Turn on notifications for future videos. You see, knee pain, there isn't an answer for it. There's a process for it. And it's important when you accept and understand that it's a process, that it's not going to be like this cookie cutter thing, like I'm going to give you the right thing to do. When it's this many layers and this many levels of things that are going on in your body and you've been suffering for such an extended period of time, it's not going to be one thing. It's a process. My videos are not for the people that are looking for the easy, quick fix. It's a journey, not a destination. If you want to know the next step, because there's a lot of people that show up on these videos and go, what do I do now? Head over to my website, thekneepainguru.com. Get on my newsletter list. If you're on my newsletter list and you haven't got involved in one of my programs, products, then get involved in the Knee Club On-Ramp, where we'll work for a couple of weeks, get you results, like results, changes, and I'll explain what I was just talking about there in that 2-week period of time, and then you can determine whether you want to go on to one of my group or private coaching programs at the end of that 2 weeks. If you're already in one of my programs and now you're like, okay, I tried an ebook or a couple of videos and I got some results, but they didn't last. Well, that's because you need more support. We need to pick this apart, like that recipe. You put too much flour, not enough eggs, you cooked it too long, or you didn't cook it long enough. It's the same thing with your knees. It's a recipe. It's a formula. All focusing on comfort. No questions. Rita, good morning. How are you? Anyone else have questions? Put them in over on the in the live chat. If you don't have questions, that's okay. You know where to find me. I will put links in the description to my website. Once again, 3 things, depending on where you are in the process. And realize we will have different conversations as you move along the process. The whole premise of my approach is creating comfort first and foremost, changing neurological states in your knee as well as in your body to speed up your body's ability to recover, because it knows how to recover. It wants to recover. It wants to feel good. It wants to be out of pain. Severe arthritis for 15 years. Yeah, okay. Dehydrated joint. The joint gets dehydrated because of nerve irritation, which squeezes the joint together. When the joint's squeezed, what kind of stretching? Stretching is vague. And there's a specificity in getting you out of pain. If you've had severe osteoarthritis for 15 years and stretching helps, now you're justifying it. You're just sabotaging yourself in the process. So, osteoarthritis, arthritis period. The joint squeezes together because of pain. Normal natural response to pain. It squeezes out the synovial fluid in the joint. The joint begins to wear and be more painful. Perfect example of what I'm doing with my fist right here. Look at the color of my hand when I open it up. It's white, turns pink. Just from me squeezing my hand for a couple of seconds. Now, you have a knee that's been squeezing like that for 15 years. The joint begins to squeeze out the synovial fluid. The joint wears, more nerve irritation. The joint squeezes closer together more because there's more pain. The body's dehydrated. The joint's dehydrated. Most likely the body's mineral imbalance is there as well. Stretching is not going to change the neurological signaling that's causing the tension pattern for the knee to tighten up. Understand this. Your joint is wearing away. Every time you take a step, more nerve irritation, more joint irritation causes the joint to squeeze more, dehydrate more, wear more. You can see it on an X-ray, CT scan, or MRI. You have to change the neurological signaling in order to get out of that pattern. Then, if you're drinking enough water, there's an opportunity for the water to get into the joint, to lubricate the joint, to reduce the pain, and set up the conditions so your body can heal. It's a simple process, not necessarily easy. Getting out of knee pain is not for the faint of heart, because we are also working with the mental and emotional patterns that have gone with changed how you think and how you feel about how you move over the past 15 years. Okay, building up 2020. Awesome. Hi, Bill. Good morning. Met a guy the other day. He claimed he had bad arthritis. I asked him about the daily water intake. He claimed 78 glasses of water, approximately 64 ounces. Either he lied or something else. You see, and this is both of you, go back and watch the video replay again. It is important to understand just because you drink water doesn't mean it's going to get in the joint. I could drink a glass of water and my hand is, I could still hold the tension in my hand enough where it'll still squeeze out the blood in my hand. You have to understand that you could stub your toe and you could have pain in the toe. The rest of the body could be okay. Your body's dynamic. Just because you drink enough water doesn't mean it's actually getting to the place that you need it. There is something else. You have the tension, the neurological pattern that's going on in the joint. You have, if you are drinking the water, does the body have the ability to absorb the water that it's drinking? There is the ability of, I was talking about self-sabotage, taking time, giving the body time to recover after we've created comfort. What about tension patterns that are going on in the hips and lower back, the hamstrings, the quads, the shins, the calves, the feet, the ankles? They're all patterns that contribute to what's going on in the knee. That has to be looked at. Okay, Rita says, I had total knee replacement surgery in October. Till now, I still have 85-degree flexion upon all the exercises I do daily, plus advice on what to do. Rita, are you in one of my programs? That's the question. Exercise, if you have a tension pattern going on in your body that's resulting in only 85-degree flexion, there is a pattern going on in the neurology, in the nervous system, the brain, down the spinal column, into all of the nerves in the body that has blown a fuse, let's say. So it's causing your body to tense up to protect itself. The neurology of the body is doing that right now, only allowing for 85-degree flexion. The more you push it, which means the more you put the knee into pain, what happens is the neurology goes, your nervous system goes, tense up. I don't want to go there. Just like KJUN03 with a severe arthritis. Same pattern. You could have a knee replacement, you could have severe arthritis, you could have chondromalacia, you could have tendonitis, whatever it is. That pattern gets stuck in the neurology, limiting the range of motion or the movement in the knee, in the body, because the brain is always fearful of going there because it's going to hurt. And until we begin to change the neurology so the knee doesn't hurt so much, the tension in the hips and the lower back that are playing into the range of motion in the knee, the fear that comes up in your mind that if I move that way, it's going to hurt, until we begin to dissipate that through the neurology, through changing the neurological signaling, it's not going to be different. So, the purpose of these videos is to give you a different perspective on why what you've been doing, or help you understand what you've been doing and why it hasn't been working. And that continuing down that road without understanding the neurology of what's going on in your body is not going to get you any further than where you're already at. That's why so many people are lining up for knee replacements. Why so many people are limping around with arthritis for 15 years. How much water can one drink? As much as you want. Okay, building. So it could be tension he's holding in. Yeah, building up 2020. Tension plays a role. Mindset plays a role. Water plays a role. Exercise plays a role. Nutrition, supplementation. mobility, stretching, it all plays a role. So how do you get past what, Rita? This is one thing I've noticed about people with knee pain is they don't establish context when asking questions. It's like, my knee hurts. What do I do? There's so much more to it. It's a comprehensive understanding of what's going on in the body. It's like taking a car to a mechanic and saying it's making a funny noise. Okay, well, when does it make the funny noise? Do you notice it when the car's on or off? There's so many different questions. Your best bet, if you're already on the mailing, first get on the newsletter list. First and foremost, get on my newsletter list, thekneepainguru.com. Start getting my daily newsletter. Second, if you're ready to get started on the approach that I'm talking about, begin working with one of my programs. My suggestion, if you're serious about it, get involved in the Knee Club On-Ramp, which is 2 weeks. You get access to me, private coaching. We work for 2 weeks and we get you some results. And I'm pointing out all of these things, what we need to do to establish the foundation so you can move forward with what's going on with your knee, so you're not tripping yourself up and doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, which is the definition of insanity. And then if you're already in one of my programs, you did the on-ramp, you got involved in one of the basic foundational, the comfort zone or my library, my ebook library, and it's not quite working. You got some results and they didn't last as long as you'd like, and it's hit or miss, then get my support, because we can point these things out. Because if you're trying to change the neurology, like I was talking to, KJJUN03, when I was talking to him about it, and Rita, if you're trying to change the neurology, what is the nervous system? It's an electrical system. Water conducts electricity. So if you get relief for a period of time, but then the pain comes back, guess what? The body's dehydrated because it can't send the signal and integrate to the rest of the structure. Your nervous system has the ability to send a signal throughout the entire body. 286 miles per hour. That's the speed your nervous system fires. And if it's dehydrated, it's going to get so far, it's going to stop, and it's going to push that tension back to where it just came from. What do I do to get more flexion because I am not into any of your programs? Well, continue doing what you're doing or get in one of my programs. It's one of those things that it's like a tip, a trick, or a suggestion is not going to get you there. You've had the bones in your leg, Rita. You've had the bones in your leg cut off and replaced with plastic and metal. That is a huge trauma your body has been through. Not to mention how long your knee was in pain before you had the bones in your leg cut off and replaced with plastic and metal. Which, by the way, June03, that's what you're looking at. You keep dealing with what you've been dealing with, sucking it up, pushing through the pain. Okay, maybe you drank a little water, change a few things here and there. The joint keeps wearing, the joint's still in pain, and then you're going to end up like Rita. It's a reality. And I could try sugarcoating it. And you can go to anywhere else on the internet and get all the sugar-coated things on the description of what knee pain is, description of what osteoarthritis is, the exercises to do for physical therapy, the stretches to do in yoga. You can do that, but none of them are talking about changing the neurology. Period. End of story. That's a fact. I'm the only one on the internet talking about the body, talking about your knee to the level that I am. Crickets. Yes, I can get a little intense from time to time, but it's to help you. If you want to stay stuck, stay stuck. It's okay. It's okay. My knees don't hurt anymore. Dislocated my left knee 4 times. Had reconstructive surgery on the ligament in my left knee. Been there, done that. I got the t-shirt. So I know how to get a knee out of pain. I know the frustration on the other side of a surgery when the knee's still swollen, it doesn't bend, you can't squat, you're fatigued, you can't sleep well. Like, I get it. I understand it totally. And for all intents and purposes, for me now, that was 21 years ago. For me now, I should be having arthritis. I should be going to the doctor and shots and drugs and having the conversation about being a perfect candidate for a knee replacement surgery. Should be. I'm not. Got a 6-year-old, play with her all the time, play with her on the ground, run and chase her, do everything that I want to do. Okay, let's see. J.L. Watson, been very informative. Bill, I'm excited to try this. I've done everything else. Yeah, and J.L., understand, what do I want to say? It's important to understand I will not tell you something just to blow smoke. I will tell you what you need to know in order to get better. And that's important. And a lot of times the things that are going to move you, that are going to move the needle for you and get your knee better are the most difficult thing that it's like you don't want to look at. And I know it sucks. I know it sucks. But I told this woman, Pat, the other day, she did my on-ramp. She was sick during the majority of the on-ramp, the 2-week private coaching thing. And she showed up on the knee club call, because that's the idea. You do the on-ramp, you go into the private coaching program. And she was doing my program. She was doing Bowen therapy, which is another therapy. She was going to see a therapist in person, and she was frustrated because her knee wasn't changing fast enough. The problem was, and this is what happens with a lot of people with knee pain, I made the same mistake. You do too much. It's like, well, if I do a little bit, my knee will get better. But if I do twice as much, my knee will get better faster. And it doesn't work that way. We have to start with baby steps. We have to start with the things that are going to make the biggest difference right now, and then build on that. Because your brain has to wrap around the change that comfort is making in your neurology. And a lot of times it's like throwing the keys to a 16-year-old, just got their learner's permit to a brand new shiny Corvette convertible. They don't know the power that they have. And most people don't know the power that their neurology has to heal itself. And they don't understand the signals that their nervous system is giving them. And then they want to ignore them because they're second guessing themselves in the process. And all I'm here to do is go, do more of this, stop doing that, drink a little bit more water, and then let's see what happens over the next week. Okay. How can I get your contact information if you don't mind? Go to my website, thekneepainguru.com. Everything is over there. Okay. Rita, one big thing is to relax. Your body cannot heal or be flexible if you're anxious, tense, fearful of the movement. Have to heal your body. Time, rest, Bill's program. Thank you. Building up 2020. And here's the interesting piece. The more you begin to look at your body through the lens of the nervous system, of the neurology, you'll begin to see how all the other stuff just confuses everything. It like muddies the water. It churns up the water and makes things more difficult to understand. Comfort is the key to you being out of pain. So we were talking about at the beginning of the presentation, where you're at in pain, where you want to be out of pain. That gap, and you're loading in all that information. So you're doing exercises. You want to get more flexion. You want the stiffness to go away. You want the pain to go away. You want to do all of those things. But what is the shortest distance between 2 points? It's a straight line. And that what bridges that gap is creating comfort. Comfort is your shortest distance from where you're at in pain to where you want to be out of pain. And that comes from your experience of pain or something else other than pain with your knee. And if we could get a lot of that stuff out of the way, the stuff that has been absolutely confusing the daylights out of you on a daily basis about what to do, what not to do, when to do it, how to do it, how much to do it. Should I do more? Should I rest? And begin to tap into the innate intuition your nervous system has, which is the recognition of what hurts or what doesn't hurt. You'll get there faster than you can believe. Okay, I got to scoot because I have a coaching call here in 2 minutes. If you have questions, you're watching the replay, type them in the comments below. If you're watching this for the first time, you're here, Bill, the Knee Pain Guru, the first time, head over to my website, thekneepainguru.com, get on the newsletter list. If you're already on the newsletter list and you're watching this video, then get into one of my programs. If you're already into one of my programs and you're going, hey, it's not quite working, then reach out, get either my group or private coaching programs, and we will walk you step by step, get you out of pain. I got to bounce. Thank you so much. Next video is going to be on Thursday based on what people type in there. I'm going to scoot. Bill Paravano, the Knee Pain Guru. Remember, like, subscribe, share the video. I'll see you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.